This week's episode of Friday Night Smackdown was absolute cinema. We got everything from title changes, stories being advanced, and Solo Sikoa scaring the piss out of Paul Heyman. Please excuse me before we go any further in this video. If I sound extremely terrible, it's because I'm sick. It's awful right now, bro. Anyways, without further ado, you guys know I don't like wasting time as we get in here with adrenaline in my soul. Something, Cody Rhodes. Cody was talking about his typical WWE propaganda. It's a new era. Oh my god, Raw on Netflix. Oh my lord. And then we get like that little sword sound effect thing, and Drewy Poo is coming out. Drew basically tells Cody he's not here to hurt him and he's here to help him, and he's trying to knock some sense into bro by speaking to him because they know each other, right? You know, they were tag team champions in like 2011. They both got released, whatever. They had to build themselves up, whatever, yada yada. Basically, this was a whole ploy to get Kevin Owens to attack Cody because Cody's this stubborn, hard-headed, annoying nuisance that won't listen to anything anybody says. Watch your back, bucko. Also, it's extremely random that Cody just threw out the idea that Drew wanted a shot at the WWE Championship. That made absolutely no sense. Nothing he said alluded to that. This is why I'm starting to feel a Cody heel turn coming on, because he's putting things in people's mouths and whatnot. These commentators are so fluent on saying that Kevin Owens is the delusional one, but I'm not gonna lie, Cody Rhodes looks delusional right now. After Crash Out Kev sneaks that boy Cody, we get the typical little brawl, where security has to break everything up. And I just gotta say, I love this. I love when folks are just throwing fisticuffs. It makes it feel all the more real and whatever, and I feel like it advances the storyline more than any stupid little promo could. I think that's the biggest addition to the current day, Triple H era, all these storylines are getting advanced through more than just little backstage segments and more than just through promos. They're actually scrapping. They're showing actual hatred towards each other, and I like that. I really do. All this taught me, this entire little segment, is that Cody is really stupid and he needs to, grow some brains at some point. Anyways, after a pretty good opening there, we get into this little Andrade versus Shinsuke non-title match. And I'm not gonna lie, seeing that it was non-title, all those cliches that we get in wrestling, I really thought it was gonna be Andrade picking up the win, and I really thought that this was going to be a way for Andrade to get his win back without, taking the title off of Shinsuke. But boy, I was wrong. It was a very good, hard-hitting match between two of the best competitors in the world, and I'm not complaining about that. It was great. It was a banger. But I'm just surprised that Shinsuke won, to be honest. I guess looking back on it, it is the right decision, seeing as he's got that match with LA Knight. But at the same time, it feels like you're just burying Andrade at this point. It feels like Andrade's not getting any wins, and it feels like Andrade is just a complete loser. Sure, he's got a cool gimmick, but he can't win matches. Although I will say that this match banged harder than white women in sororities, as well as the fact that those Japan references at the beginning of the match, those went hard. I love that they're starting to do that now. Anyways, yeah, guy came out and attacked Shinsuke after the match. This is basically their little setup to their match next week. And honestly, I don't know who's winning that. That's kind of unpredictable. It can go either way, because they've got something with this Shinsuke character. And I don't know if they really want to bury it right now, but they've also got something in LA Knight. But they're always going to have something in LA Knight, so I don't know. Anyways, we go back to yes, boy, as we see it after we see Apollo Crews. I swear to God, Apollo Crews got to be the only human being in this entire company with any common sense. They call Apollo Crews a stooge and whatever, but then Legado del Fantasma or whatever come up, and Garza and Humberto basically press Pretty Deadly. Whatever, DIY, and Nick Aldis come up, and then Nick Aldis tells Pretty Deadly to come to his office or something. I don't know. It seems like a kind of homo plan, but I don't know, because I missed the entire segment. I just wasn't paying attention. But anyways, we roll into Michin versus Piper Niven in this little mid-card title rivalry building match. It was a pretty good match, as you can probably assume, seeing the people involved. But for some reason, that girl Michin started twerking. That was really weird. The Limitless guy ain't gonna like that too much. Or he did, I don't know, I really don't care, to be honest. In conclusion, Michin pins Piper Niven. Then, aw, what a sweet promo by Naomi. If life can be whatever I want it to be, does this mean I can fly myself to Venus and cosplay as DC the Don Naomi? Naomi, does this mean I can marry Roxanne Perez? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and I'm here to set the record straight. Anyways, Paul Heyman, little tribal combat promo, whatever, he talks about how Roman is the tribal chief. And he also just starts to little bro Solo Sikoa, saying him and Roman Reigns were basically training him to be the next tribal chief. The amount of low broing WWE has been doing to people lately is kind of crazy. First it was CM Punk and Rollins, now it's Paul Heyman and Roman to Solo. This is crazy work. That Twisted SOB stole the Ulafala. Hello, Io Sky. Are you a Samoan necklace? Because I'm Ula falling for you. Then Paul Heyman debuted his little Donald Trump gimmick saying folks saying welcome in the United States. And then he hit the Jacob Fatu prayer emote. This is crazy. Oh my god, the tribal man boobs as music hits. Don't you dare hurt Paul, boy. He's finally by himself for a chance, bro. I'm about 10 seconds away from pissing my pants. Is also crazy, Paul. It's actually like one of the craziest lines I've ever heard in a wrestling ring. I don't know. I've seen it already floating around Twitter a bunch, bro. It's crazy. Grown man talking about tinkling himself is absolute insanity. Also, side note, love this crowd because they're insanely loud. But then Solo talks about like trying to owe like a gay favor to Paul or whatever. And then he basically says that Paul Heyman's gonna hold the Ulafala for the tribal combat match because it needs to be somebody trustworthy. Chills when he puts it on Tonga Loa. After this, we get into the little DIY Motor City Machine Guns little match for the tag titles. I just have to say something. That Corey Graves and Johnny Gargano little beef that he has on commentary is absolutely amazing and is making this tag title run and heel run so much better. This Johnny Gargano Snake character development is peak because if the heel commentator don't even rock with you, that's insanity. I love some good tag team wrestling, but what I don't love is DIY winning the match based off of Pretty Deadly and Los Garza, whatever, having a little interference, basically fighting to where they break up the little double submission, because Motor City Machine Guns are definitely robbed. Justice for Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, big dog. Side note, Carmelo Hayes is probably the funniest human being on the roster. We got a problem, Oos. Chills when Carmelo Hayes and Kalani Jordan defeat the Usos. Jay and Jimmy then run in to crash out Kev, and Kev basically just tells them to watch their back, basically just making him paranoid of Drew McIntyre. Then the great American idiot, Cody Rhodes, is being told by Nick Aldis that he shouldn't be doing this and he's putting his own future in jeopardy. He has a point. He says that Nick's a good boss, but he says basically that the champion makes the calls, which no, that's not true. The champion is not above the boss, you idiot. Cody then said he drops anyone that looks like Kevin Owens on sight. You weren't dropping KO tonight, though. I'm not gonna lie, you're just lying, bud. So you're an idiot and a liar. That backstage segment basically told me nothing but the fact that Stiffy Tiffy was going to cash in that briefcase. I've been talking about how it's get back season and how Tiffy needs to start playing some offense. She's been doing nothing but taking L after L to Candice. This might be the night. Foreshadowing. Anyways, time for the women's championship match, and I have just now noticed that ring is blue. And I personally think it looks good. I like the difference that they're going with here. I've seen a lot of people complaining about it. Just stop crying, bro. Stop complaining about everything. It's really not that deep. This might just be the greatest Nia Jax match of all time. That was like a really good match between her and Naomi. For God's sake, she threw a tag title, bro. I was low-key giggling when she did that. Near fall after near fall, I was low-key ready for that. It's Tiffy time. The whole time with suspense, bro. And then it actually happened. It actually happened. By the way, that's the greatest cash in and greatest swerve of all time, because I'll read you my notes from what I put here. I put, that's the stupidest thing of all time. Tiffany really is the dumb blonde. And then big switch up here. Yo! That's perfect! I got worked! Tiffy pins Nia Jax! Tiffany Stratton is the new WWE Women's Champion! I'm not gonna hold you. I could not focus on that little bloodline video or whatever because I was busy kind of marking out over the Tiffany Stratton win. Anyways, gang, main event time. And I just want to say that Jacob Fatu is an absolutely amazing promo and is the like future of professional wrestling. I love you, tribal man boobs. Also, the little promo before the main event with LA Knight, he's at a breaking point, dog. He's at a breaking point. I know that's the story they're trying to tell, and they're telling it very well. So I'm excited for next week, of course. I'm also excited to see where LA Knight goes from here. I'm wondering if it's a heel turn. It could be. Who knows? Getting into the main event, 6-man tag. It's 3 mentally ill individuals going 3-on-3. Let's go. And we also have the best crowd in America this year, too. So there's that. BTA, BTA, BTA. They're scrapping, JR. They're scrapping. That's your good old-fashioned fight right here, Cole. Wow, Jacob Fatu is a beast. Jacob Fatu is honestly my favorite wrestler in the world at the moment. Watch your back because Drew McIntyre. Jay takes out Drew McIntyre with a suicide dive because he gets distracted and all. But then Corey said the coldest line of the night. He said, all of the gifts an athlete could want, but none of the morality. That's so cold. He's talking about Jacob Fatu. And what a finish, by the way. That little Samoan spike after thinking Jacob Fatu was the legal man. I really like how like creative some of these finishes are getting lately. And that was just a beautiful scene at the end. I'm a big fan of this new bloodline, to be honest. Overall, it was a very good episode of Smackdown. I loved it from start to finish, to be honest. 3 hours. While a lot of people hate it, I personally like it. And I'm super excited for this Netflix Raw. As I said, like in the Raw review, the first episode is like absolutely going to feed families. And it's like, it's so hard to predict all of these matches. It really is a perfect time to be a fan of professional wrestling right now. Anyways, guys, all love for me. Appreciate y'all for taking your time to watch this video. God bless. And make sure you join my Discord server, subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. God bless.